Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. To our top story, sponsored by Carnegie Heights. An emotional day for the family of a 5-year-old girl who was at one point fighting for her life after being rescued from a house fire in North Las Vegas.
Just want to thank you guys for saving her.
That was little Malia Robinson's grandmother thanking the firefighters today. After getting pulled out from her grandmother's burning home, the fire chief saying Malia was taken off the ventilator and is thankfully on the road to recovery.
I am so thankful for them getting my sister out, because if she would have stayed there longer, she would have never survived.
Their grandmother, Carissa Armstrong, also accepting a $500 check donation from the firefighters of Southern Nevada Burn Foundation. In other news, Las Vegas police are investigating a suspicious item after a 9/11 remembrance ceremony was evacuated. Police referring to this found near the Sawyer building earlier today. People nearby were at the Nevada State Veterans Memorial to honor 9/11 victims. So far, the suspicious item is deemed safe and the closed roads have reopened. Jobless gig workers and independent contractors will now be required to verify their identity when filing for unemployment in Nevada. Review Journal's Renee Summerhour has more on what this means. Renee?
Jen, so the State Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation said Monday that it will start requiring pandemic unemployment assistant filers to take additional steps when they file for a new claim or a continued weekly claim, which includes verifying who they are. DETR says PUA filers can verify their identity online through a third-party vendor, ID.me, and should follow directions noted in the email message and or link provided through their claimant account. Filers shouldn't verify their identity unless instructed to do so. State workforce agencies are required to verify filers' identities as part of the $9 billion stimulus package passed by Congress and signed into law by then President Donald Trump in December.
In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. With March Madness still underway, Las Vegas hotels are seeing one of their busiest times since the pandemic. Here's an update on the room rates. A stay at Rio went from just $64 on March 13th to $139 on March 20th to a whopping $179 for March 27th. Other hotels seeing similar trends. Experts say overlapping spring breakers could also be boosting prices. Over at Wynn Las Vegas, Encore will be resuming full-week operations starting on April 8th. This includes Encore's hotel and casino reopening to 7 days a week. However, all other amenities, including the spa and restaurants, will still have a revised schedule. In your health news, sponsored by 4M Dental, love your smile again. Las Vegas police are reporting about a third of their staff and volunteers being vaccinated. Metro representatives saying it's been a mixed bag of attitudes, with just over 2,000 of their workers getting the vaccine. At the same time, the Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo sending this message.
Now the vaccines come on board and people are in a quandary whether they should get it or is it mandatory? Is the sheriff going to make it mandatory? I made a decision not. I think it falls under the collective bargaining issue. If we make it mandatory, I didn't want to have to go that direction. But I personally absolutely advise you to get the vaccine.
That was from the State of the Department address. Now to your weather, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. Here's what we can expect tonight. Even more strong winds coming through at around 25 miles per hour from the north. As you can see, temps also dropping to the low 50s tonight. As for tomorrow, it'll be sunny and still windy, highs getting to around 70 degrees, lows in the 40s. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, the winds will die down just a bit, and clouds will roll in before clearing up for this weekend. In your entertainment news, sponsored by Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Cork and Thorn nightclub has survived the brutal reality show Bar Rescue and is now reopening with some major upgrades. Review Journal's John Katslamides has all the deets.
Bar Rescue descended on Cork and Thorn in downtown Las Vegas's Arts District last week. The unveiling was Sunday night, and Randy Garrett's business has a new kitchen, a new bar, new furniture, new paint, a new point of sale system. The whole place has been gone through and refreshed, but the vibe remains the same. They still offer floral design lessons, wine bar nights, and also live music every evening.
Plus, Raiders Tavern and Grill at M Resorts in Henderson is set to officially open on April 1st. We want to show you their Asian-style salmon, one of their signature entrees. Their dessert menu includes this delicious-looking strawberry shortcake. The Raiders Tavern and Grill will take reservations starting tomorrow.
Sports, sponsored by Scenic Brewing Company. With this sports update, I'm Cassie Soto. Raiders backup quarterback Marcus Mariota is staying in Las Vegas after agreeing to restructure his contract. Mariota was set to make $10 million this season, but due to cap issues, that just wasn't going to happen. Vinny Bonsignor has more.
The options for Marcus were dwindling. Most of the starting opportunities, Washington, Chicago, New Orleans, New England, Indianapolis, they'd all been filled by trades or free agent acquisitions, whatever the case might be. So the opportunities for him to go elsewhere in a trade as a starter or as a free agent and a starter were dwindling.
Now here's your sports betting update. The Sweet 16 for the NCAA tournament is set, and the teams that won second round games Monday will play again this Sunday. In the West region, top overall seed Gonzaga is a 13.5-point favorite over number 5 seed Creighton, and number 6 USC is a 2.5-point favorite over number 7 Oregon. In the East, number 1 Michigan is a 3-point favorite over number 4 Florida State, and number 2 Alabama is a 5.5-point favorite over number 11 UCLA.
In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Get Healthy Clark County, for you fishing fans, get this, there's $1 million at stake. That's the prize money for the Johnny Morris Bass Pro Shops U.S. Open National Bass Fishing Amateur Team Championships. This coming April, about 40 teams will be out on Lake Mead to catch the biggest bass. Registration opens in May for the next 2 qualifying events. The Bass Pro Shop website has more details. That concludes our 7 at 7 p.m. newscast from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I'm Jen Ah. We're available on the RJ mobile app, YouTube, and so much more. Be sure to watch 7 at 7 a.m. bright and early. Have a great night.
Review-Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.